right there.
And then you can click on that little arrow on the top and minimize that area one.
Right here?
Yeah, that one.
Okay. All right. So a lot of this material is from Darren Hardy, who is a Success magazine publisher. He wrote The Compound Effect, wrote Entrepreneur Roller Coaster. He's one of the greatest speakers I've ever seen. His, you see him? He's unbelievable. And his mentor was Jim Rohn, and he had a different way of teaching success principles. Like Jim Rohn, it's not like he was not all about your action steps. It's about who that person you need to become to hit your goals. So he does a great job in the modern era of explaining a lot of these things. He's not the scream at you, jump around and hug everybody, Tony Robbins type of stuff, which is great. He's more of a down to earth, appeal to the millennials, younger generation too. So he packaged some of these things up in a very easy way to follow through. He wrote Living Your Best Year Ever journal, and it's by far probably the best. And I gave you a lot of that today that we're going to go over. So we're going to go over how to practice that and get you set up for your goal setting. So two common traits of superachievers is the commitment to constant learning. Professional development, self-development. What do you need to be doing in your field, in your business? How can you improve yourself? So just continue to learn and get better. And then goals. You got to have your goals and the action steps that go along with those goals. So we're in January. I've already talked to people that said, I started the first couple weeks of January and I started hitting the gym and now I'm already falling off. You're 3 weeks in. If that's your goal, like maybe there's not a map there. Maybe there's not the action steps. It's like I'm going to go to the gym and it wears off pretty quickly. So you have to have a plan. Maybe you have to pack all your clothes up. If you're a morning person, you have to pack all your clothes up the night before and lay it out and just jump right. Maybe sleep in your clothes. I don't know. Go to the gym. Things that you have to do to get that habit. The habit can be 21 days. Get that habit going. Habit forming positive things that you have to change. So that's kind of the thing. So, and the attitude is everything. So, when you do have a setback, it's very important to get your attitude on track. It's real easy to have something bad happen and then blow off the day. I talk about when the kids screw you up and you get a bad phone call and there's a closing delay or a title issue or, an undischarged mortgage or something, and you're like, oh my God, I can't work for the rest of the day and it's 9 o'clock because I'm so pissed off right now. And it's just easy to check out. But I look back on that, it's like, how many days, and we're all human, right? So how many days have you done that last year where the day was seemingly ruined in the morning and you just blew it off? But think about it, if you didn't do that for half of those days, how much more productive you would have been. And it's easy to say to do that when you're not in it. But when you're in it, it feels very bad. It's like the darkest hour, right? It doesn't seem like it's going to get any better. So, there's always ways to get that back on track. Nothing usually is as bad as it seems. That's kind of a mantra that I've learned over the years. It's just you have to, so maybe you check in with yourself and what do you need to do? What do you still need to do to be productive for that day? Take care of what you need to take care of. Put out the fire and move on. And even if it's a setback, it's only a temporary setback. It's not the end of the world, So reset that day when things get away from you. Let's see here. And continue to focus on your highest payoff activities during that day. The easiest thing to do is usually the lowest payoff activity to do. Just seeing like high producers standing at a jam copy machine for hours trying to fix it is not a good use of time, right? We have to have Tracy have someone in here to make sure that they're on call to fix a copy machine instead of having the high producers. I'm just kidding. Just have the high producers take care of. you know, or interns or whatever. I mean, and it's not to be mean, but if that's a $10 an hour job and you figure out what your hourly worth is and it's $100 an hour, you shouldn't be standing at the copy machine fixing the jam. Now, of course, if it needs to get done, it needs to get done for a second. But these are the things that when you get thrown off, you don't want to let take you over and consume you. So just make sure you're working on your highest payoff activities. And there's just a couple of quotes down the bottom. No one ever got rich with a poor attitude. So that's kind of goes right into the attitude. You know, and one of the things that I think can hold people back is self-doubt. You know, having doubt about doing things. Just do it. You know, Nike says just do it. Just do it. And kind of, you know, grow as you get through it. And just so another thing that I wanted to just kind of point out is this is, if anyone ever read the Success Principles by Jack Canfield, they ever read that book? He just came out with a revision. So he succinctly put 52 principles, and I think it's one of the greatest, easiest books to understand as far as what truly goes into success principles. And his number one principle is take 100% responsibility for everything that happens to you. Now, you can't control the serenity prayer, you can't always control your circumstances, but you can control how you react to those circumstances you're in, right? So when stuff gets bad, you know, you could take it to down the wrong path and quit for the day, or not take any responsibility for it and blame.
What's the name of the book, Bill?
Jack Canfield's Success Principles. He wrote it 10 years ago and just came out with the revision of that this year, with just updated stuff. It's a great book. He has it on audio too. So his number one thing is just take responsibility for everything that happens to you, and that's a good way to get in the right mind frame. And one of the things that I think goes along with that is, hey, we're human. We've all had missteps. We've all had some blips on that radar screen that, you know, regrets in life. And until you can make peace with those moves or that past, it's really tough. You know, if you're doing a lot of blaming of yourself or others, you know, you got to be able to, you know, move on from that. And that's one of the things that, you know, personally that was big for me in the last few years is, you know, we've all had missteps, and just getting past some of these missteps and moving forward. So I love that principle, and I think it's a very powerful one, because it does set you up for that aha moment. You're like, okay, this is okay now. We're gonna get through this, and life is good. All right, so let's, you know, again, mindset. It's all about the PMA, the positive mental attitude. You know, some of the things just, it's kind of funny because we all have the clients, and we all know those clients. They complain about everything, right? You know, once in a while I get those clients. They complain. They have the black cloud following them. So it just seems like every step of the way there's stuff going on, and it's because of they're creating these things. They're creating this problems to occur, and they're just, you know, clients just like, you know, don't move money around. Well, I already moved money around, so there's nothing we can do. You know, don't do this. Well, I'm going to do that because it's easier. And it's just like they're setting themselves up for failure because that's all they know. So it's just like they're very negative. They're blaming. So we want to kind of, when you recognize that you have that, try to work with that and stay in control. You know, some of these clients, because when they really do self-sabotage, do you know what I'm talking about by the self-sabotage clients? You and I have had a couple.
Yes, indeed.
The cell phone salesman who was so bad at his job, he didn't have a voicemail on a cell phone. He set
his voicemail up on his own cell.
It says not set up. So that was just kind of typical. And I said, dude,
that was just one thing. He didn't pay
right. So I mean, we get those clients. So when you recognize that, hey, this is going to be a challenging one, Jess, I know you get them all the time. Yeah. You know, realize this is going to be the guy with 3 social security numbers.
I always love the engineers.
Well, the guy we just closed with the 3 social security numbers.
You're not supposed to disclose my personal information.
Anyway, so So try to redirect them. I take it a point now to say, listen, you can't be negative with me. You can't be negative in my office. You can't have this self-doubt about this transaction going through, because you will create more problems than it's worth. Let's work together and we'll get it done. So kind of get them to jump on your back, because they're not used to that. They're afraid. They're doom and gloomers. You have to take that high road with them and say, come on, I'm gonna carry you to the closing.
Sometimes you have to be parental and just tell them
Right.
this is what you have to do or don't do. Sometimes they don't do it. You have to spank them.
Right. Exactly. So that's kind of what comes to mind. And I teach all my staff to work through this. The clients that kind of, and we all have family that can just drain you, right? I mean, we love them, but they can be very draining, and you can only take so much. I mean, you can still love your family and see them on Thanksgiving, and but you just got to be, I love my mother to death, but she's a doom and gloomer and a complainer, and she'll do anything for anybody. But it's just like, I'll help her, but she wants you to hear her story, and it's usually not very pleasant. So there's only short drives. I try to get her where she's not and leave nice voicemails that I love her so much, and then I can talk to her once in a while. So that's how we do it. So another thing here is just it was a. I kind of, this is a segue into kind of bookending your day. The TV, I mean, the news. So it's the headlines, 80% of them, if you Google anything in news, 70 to 80% of the headlines are going to be negative. Rapes and deaths and, just bad stuff. And that's not good for anybody. I mean, a lot of people watch news before they go to bed, or they get with news before they go to bed. And it's just, that sits with you overnight. I mean, that's when you're recovering. That's when your subconscious mind's at work. And that stuff, when you just have that processing, that's just going to sit with you. So, you can check in a news story. You could find out what's going on. I mean, I try not to watch too much TV. And we'll do one show together. Like, I mean, years ago we were watching Breaking Bad. Like, that was the show. Like, we do like one thing, and I'll do that. But to sit there and watch the news, it's just you. If you consciously listen, like what's really happening, you'll hear that most of the stuff is not positive. So you kind of want to rid yourself of that. You can find out what's going on in the world. You got the internet. You got your phone. You can ask somebody. People will tell you.
It's not bad. People are dying.
I mean, think about it. It's like even like people that are political junkies, they follow the debates and they follow everything. They're in this CNN and they Bloomberg, and they just want to know what's happening. They spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of following this stuff, and then I could almost be as educated on the candidates running for presidency by just pulling up a couple of articles and reading for 10 minutes. No lie, but they just spent 5 hours of the debate watching it, and that's fine. Maybe it's entertaining, but whatever your vice is, that's a whole nother story. But you just kind of want to limit what you take in.
Those things work for grumpy old men. It doesn't work for anyone who wants to be successful in life. There's a bunch of old guys who meet at McDonald's. Go to any McDonald's around 10 a.m. They're all there bitching and moaning about the horrible politicians, the state of the economy. It's just, hey, we're grumpy old men. Let's get together and bitch together.
But they do nothing about
it. They do nothing. They just they get more news for tomorrow's bitch session. That's it. That's their life. And I can't believe they can be happy with that. I'm never going to join that club.
No.
Don't do it, Mario.
So
I mean, it's real easy to watch the news and let it absorb you. But when there's a nice thing or something local that's a good thing, focus in on that and enjoy that moment. Last night they had something on Channel 5 about St. Pierre Chain. They're the only horseshoe maker left in America. They working out of Worcester. They make horseshoes. It's a great story. That's enjoyable.
Right.
Pick that up and carry that with you for the rest of the night. Not all this crap.
Right, exactly. I mean, so just be careful what you put in. It's just like what you put in your body. This is what you feed in your mind. So just watch that. And if you're a 6 to 8 hour a day TV person, I mean, you probably want to wean off it because you might have some withdrawals. Maybe you're going to start slowly, like 7 hours and then 6, and then I'm serious. I mean, because you can't quit cold turkey, right? I mean, and I'm just saying only if you want to do it, but it's like, think about, like, if you start to track your day, think about what you're doing, and again, we all need our vices. We all need to kind of just unwind and things. Maybe it is the TV, but just be careful how you finish the day before you go to bed, that kind of thing. So obviously, it's all about, you got some great people in this room too. I mean, just surrounding yourself with positive, great people and mentors. Make sure you have a mentor or mentors. And success is contagious. Just you start hanging around with the right people and make sure you're always hanging around with the right people. And because if you're not, you're going to scratch with the chickens, just like the pitchers. You're a product.
There's a good quote for that.
What's that?
The average of the 5 people you most associate with.
Right. Absolutely. And average income of the 5 people too. That's I was actually going to mention that, the average income of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So be careful on who you spend time with. So I mean, a perfect example. I was a Worcester boy growing up, North High, and Jess, you probably know this on a personal basis. And my best friends to this day are still on the same bar stool that they were 20 years ago, right? We know this, and they're great guys and gals for that matter. And you have to be careful on how much time you spend because that can bring you down. So if it's a boys' weekend every 6 months or something, that's what it's going to be. Or so it's just kind of you gotta disassociate from the things. You can love these people. If you want to be that person that you want to become, you have to put yourself in that environment. That's kind of where I'm going with that. And then you were just mentioning the 5 people that you hang around with the most. That's who you are. And that goes back to what Jim Rohn said is, you need to become more to be more. So just some exercises, and I don't expect everyone to just jump right in and do things, but just some little things you can do every single day. Now, I think bookending your day is very powerful. You start off with something positive, end with something positive. Now, that could be, what are you grateful for? Write it in a gratitude journal. And maybe it's meditation. Now, a lot of these things aren't for everybody, but there's some things that can be for you. Maybe some of you do them. Affirmations. What are some of your affirmations that you could write down? You're reviewing your goals. You're going to write your goals. So you're going to start your goals today. I'm going to do that with you, and you can start reviewing them. Once you write down your goals, you have to review your goals, or you forget it. So that just keeps it in the forefront of your mind as when you write your goals down. You're going to constantly see that as you review them. Now, you ever buy a car that you never thought you'd buy before? Anyone buy a car that they never thought they were going to buy? Your Escalade, right?
Yep.
So was that your first Escalade?
Yes.
Okay. Now you see Escalades all over the place, right?
Yep.
And you didn't before.
Right.
Right, because it's in your awareness.
Always wanted one.
See?
Always wanted one.
Right.
Had
So
one picked out years and years and years ago.
You did.
I always looked at it.
Now you see them all the time, right?
Someday. And then it came.
They can.
Yeah.
But it's like what you think about, you start to see. You manifest that. It's a creation process. Now, really, that truly is your subconscious mind putting things in line for you. And that's why goal setting is so powerful. When you put it down, you start to. And it goes back to the law of attraction, and it's about manifesting, what your thought processes are. It's the creation process. So you have your goals, you have your action steps with your goals, you're reviewing your goals, opportunities start flowing to you as a result. It really is pretty powerful. And it's not instantaneous. It's a process. If your goals are through the end of the year, you're gonna consistently be working on that, and you're not gonna reach your goals at the end of January. It may take you until the end of December 31st, 2016, I hit all your goals. You know, and we're going to go through banner goals, but one of my, just to kind of share with you, just to kind of just, I'm not just talking to you. I live this stuff and it works. That's why I'm just kind of happy that I have the opportunity to share it with you. Last year when I wrote my goals, since in the last 8 years I've been with Fairway, you know, I've always finished in the top 3 launchers in the country with Fairway, and I hit once like 7 years ago, and I'm like, my goals, and I look back at my goals are like, I'm among the top 3 loan officers at Fairway, and I was like, screw that, I'm putting number 1. So I put number 1, and I put in units and volume. I said, you know, I went into the detail and how I was going to get there and all this other stuff. You know, so you know, we will reach number 1 stats by December 31st, 2016, in units and volume. Okay, so there's 2 categories. And I wrote this last year, and in June, I was in 17th place. So that's where we were. We finished number 1 in volume and number 2 by 1 unit in units, just because I was reviewing these goals every day. I was looking at the action steps, was constantly looking at what we could do differently to make sure that we were on track. And granted, I couldn't have done it without my team, but we put the team in a position to succeed by sharing and letting them know what we needed to do that. So that, you know, that was, you know, missed on a couple others, and just, but it really works. You know, it's kind of magical when you think about it. And again, you got to put the work in. It's not just you just set it and forget it and it's just going to happen. You've got to do the work. You got to follow your action plans along the way. But it can happen. So some of the things I started doing, the reason I put this stuff down is because I started doing a lot of these things. I got gratitude journals for all of you too. I'm going to get to you in a second, and you can start there. But the meditation stuff, I've told myself for 12 years I'm going to try meditation, and I never really did. My background's psychology, so that this is, even though that was my background, it's like I never really got into the self-hypnosis and all that. But I really actually started trying to do it like for 3 minutes a day, you know, and just kind of, but it works. It's so calming. It's like I find myself when stuff hits the fan, that I feel like I have a more calmer presence when stuff happens. And I think it's because of the things that we do on a daily basis to not get, you know, I got an Irish temper, and it's easy to lose control, and I find that I don't overreact or get out of control with that. So, you know, some of the stuff that works. You know, journaling, be thankful. You know, another thing that I put in my journal every day is like, who can I serve today? You know, like, who can I reach out to that I haven't contacted in a while? Or what can we do to help? You know, so some great things. But it's amazing on the, I think the next slide it shows you.
How these slides gonna go?
I can send it to you guys.
Okay.
Actually, I just want. So I'm going to get back to the last slide with Oprah, but this is what gratitude. I was just checking some research on the gratitude, but not only does it put you in a better mind frame, but you create greater wealth, bolster health and keep disease at bay, unlock your greatest potential, or inspire great joy to the point of bliss. So I started doing this with my kids, and last year, and I didn't give them. I wrote gratitude journals for all of them, and last year I didn't. I wrote it, but I didn't give it to them, and I've been keeping it. Someday I'll give it to them. So I've been doing it for a couple of years now. My son and I had my girls and my daughters, we're fine, and you know, they're good daddy's little girls right now, and they'll be teens soon, and then they may not be. But my son's a teen, and he and I he's a good kid, but we've always clashed. And last year we made a conscious effort together to work on a relationship. And I think 2015 was our best year ever as far as relationship wise. Like we've come to see each other's strengths for what they are and weaknesses for what they are, and work with that. So it was kind of like we got to another place, and I think it's because we worked on it. But with that being said, I do write, you know, what I'm thankful for about my kids every day in a separate journal. And someday I'll give it to them. But you know, I think that's kind of cool. I just was at a presentation a couple weeks ago, and this guy actually, what he did, I thought was pretty cool. He does a little 30-second video every day or every couple of days. Bob Goff, he Love does, and he does a 30-second video and he sends it to his kids every year, either Thanksgiving or Christmas. A 30-second video just on what's cool, what he likes about him, or that kind of stuff. So I just some powerful things. It just you want to leave a legacy. I'll leave a legacy, with your family. So it's just pretty powerful stuff. So let me just go back here. So gratitude's a choice, and can become a habit. Realizing what you have can finally change your life. So I want to, with that being said, I want to just hand these out to you guys. Now we gave them out at our holiday party. It was a big hit. So,
Oh yeah, Christian took mine.
Oh, you got another one? Yeah, of course.
He does this, he's writing it in.
So no excuses not to start on your gratitude right now, okay? You don't have to do it today, but is that enough?
Thanks, Bill.
Yeah, I got pens for you too. So you got a pen, you got a gratitude journal. Now you can go. No excuses. So we can work on that, okay?
Thank you.
So I love this quote by Oprah. Did you guys read that? Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you'll never, ever have enough. It's true. Oh, sure, certainly. And again, I'll send this. Yeah, I'll send this to you guys. Sorry. It's pretty good. Oprah's great. I mean, you talk about serving others. I mean, what she does to give back in her story, what she came from.
I actually posted an Oprah Winfrey little blurb on the Facebook the other day. It says, do the one thing you think you cannot do, fail at it, try again, do better the second time. The only people who never tumble are those who never mount the high wire. This is your moment.
Love it. That's great.
That's right. Last time I was hanging out with Oprah, she said, listen to Bill Murphy. I was like, how do you know Bill? I was like, I know Bill.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
Oprah's just good.
That's pretty awesome, man. That's pretty fun.
Came up and I was like, oh, I like it.
So Oprah does it. John F. Kennedy did it. That didn't get him too far after presidency, but he was a great president. Focusing on gratitude, it really does change your body composition. Where, think about what stress does. I mean, the cortisol that you release in your body with stress. I mean, when you're thankful, I mean, do you feel like elation? Do you feel like, happy? The feelings that you get when you're thankful or appreciative of somebody is a whole nother story, and what that does physically to you. So, I mean, cortisol, where you're working out to lose weight. If you're stressful all the time, it's tough to change your body. It's tough to lose weight. It's tough because your stress holds on to that. When you have a great attitude, you start to, everything's working properly, and you're able to get rid of toxins and all this other stuff, the endorphins that you have. So, physically, it's a whole nother story too, not to mention what it will do for, your well-being, your mindset and everything else that goes with it. So I was talking a little bit about the creation process, what drives and determines the creation process. Expectation. So you got to expect things. You always got to expect the outcome to be in your favor. You always got to expect the good to happen. That when we talk about the doom and gloomers never expect that. And guess what they create? What their outcome is. It's usually pretty poor. That's why you don't let the doom and gloomers take over your transaction, because they'll ruin it. Or a doom and gloomer agent on the other side, right? You got to take control, right? That's when you have problems. You don't need them.
You got a deal taken away from you because of the doom and gloom agent.
Yeah, I do. I'm staying positive right now, though.
I'm staying positive. No, but it happens.
That was my one unit. That was my one unit that I missed. That was my one unit that I missed.
No.
What drives and determines it? So, again, so your subconscious, when you start to think about something, now you start to create opportunities for it to happen, right? When you focus on it, things start to come, and you also have to do. You have to create the action. Doing the action brings it about. So input, thought, expectation creates the results. All right. and this segues into your why. Now, my college interns kind of missed my message here a little bit with these pictures because I do a little exercise, but this may not work. So your why, you need to be committed, disciplined, sustained action, which is the final ingredient to miracle process materializing any achievement you can conceive, right? Okay. So the shock water, that was supposed to be a tranquil pool that if I that if I said if I gave you $20, would you jump in there, right? And I said, well, just throw like a shark fin or something like that. And you'd say, if I gave you so you jump. All right, so picture this. Okay, see the shark. So you have, there's no shark in there. It's a pool. You get $20 or $100 because Mike drives a high bargain. So I gave him $100 to jump in the water with no shark. So now there's a fin going by, and Mike's like, dude, I'm not going to do that for $100. I'm not going to do $1,000. I'm not going to do it for $1 million. I'm not going to jump in that water with that shark in there. And I'll say, Mike, what if the shark was in there with your kid? Would you jump in?
Yeah, absolutely.
With that shark though?
Yep.
Right.
Take that shark right out.
You would, right? So your why has to be strong enough. Now, this burning building wasn't supposed to be on fire as much as it was. It was supposed to be a couple of windows. Because now again, the same example, would you run into the burning building for $100? You wouldn't. But would you run in there if your kid was on the second floor out the window? Right? The things that you do, your why, is it strong enough? Now, when you're creating your goals, what is your burning desire? What's your why? Your why is not going to be your kid in a shark tank, but your why is going to be as great as it possibly can to hit your goals. That's your super achievement. That's how you hit that status, by having it strongly enough. So when you put these goals together, you have to understand why you're doing it and what makes it so strong. Because you won't continue to do it if it's not strong enough. If the why is not great enough, you won't do it. Now, if it's X amount of dollars that you have to make, why? Because you want to provide a great life for your family, because you want to have nice things, because you want to give back to the community, because you want to have free time. I mean, your why you have to keep asking the question why to get to the real answer and uncover where you want to be. So I'll have to have the interns make those pictures a little more subtle for me. So the secret to goal setting. Again, we talked about this a little bit. Just focus on what you want, not what you don't want. And be sure they're your goals. And everyone here has SMART goals. I know you guys had some business planning stuff in here too, right? Did you go over the SMART goals? Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time sensitive. It's going to be in the present tense. So like we use the gym example, say I am going to lose 20 pounds by, February 29th this year, leap year. Whatever the case may be, or 15 pounds, or I'm going to, go to the gym X amount of days every single week, and I'm going to eat clean and, no drinking or whatever, whatever you need to do. So you have to have it specific measure. Well, then
Baby steps.
your why is okay. So you go from 5 days to 4 days. No news. No.
Me all nervous now.
No news.
You mind sending me this?
Yeah,
this slide?
I'll send you.
Awesome, thank you.
No
I'm
news
dying to
then.
get a
No news.
This is really good.
All right.
I like it. Maybe you guys can bring this format.
All right. We got the year in
Go pick
review.
up the kids. Bring them here. This is all good stuff.
We're gonna do a year in review right now. So, all right. So Jim Rohn, so we talked. If you want more, you got to become more. A lot of people think that if they just put the actions, it's not all actions. It's about the person you're becoming in the process. So you have to actually transform. All right. So we got to calculate your map, your timeline. This is your accountability right here. Map the route. Who else is going? Who do you need to tell? Who do you need? What research do you need to do? What training do you need to do? Your personal self-development. Napoleon Hill, he wrote the Think and Grow Rich, which is, I think, one of the biggest bestsellers in two categories. It was in personal achievement and business. Think and Grow Rich. It's great. It's a classic. Fight for your future. Never ever give up. And only any setbacks are just temporary. And we know what insanity is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. doing the same thing over and over and again and expecting the same results. So why goals don't work? Now, again, is your why strong enough? Is it a wish list? Is it not clear? Are you just, there's no systems involved? Do you not have any reinforcements? So, you know, you got to make sure that you have all these things in line, and that's what I'm going to give you today, so you can keep track of where you're going. It's going to be your map. It's going to be your goals. Go ahead.
Attainable is really a big one. When I used to sit down and go over the goal planning at a different company with the agents, you know, somebody who did 2 or 3 deals last year, I'm going to hit 50 next year. Dude, don't shoot for the moon.
Right.
I mean, you have to say, okay, if you did 2 or 3,
Right.
You might be able to get up to a dozen
Right.
or 20, but not 50.
You got to, right, that's a great point. You got to stretch yourself, but you can't set yourself, if you set yourself up for failure, then that's a whole nother set of problems that you're going to create. Stretch,
Yeah.
you know, maybe double it or whatever the case. I mean, why not, you know, 30%.
Set your goals in the middle of the year. It doesn't always have to be
Right.
January 1st. Either.
Right.
Oftentimes I'll reset them or change them during the year.
Right.
Things are happening better or worse.
Yeah,
But
exactly. So, all right, so this is what I want to talk about. We're going to start this and just go through a little bit for a few minutes. But this is powerful. This exercise is called the year in review. So you're going to look back and you're going to get your phones, you're going to get your calendar, you're going to get your photo albums, you're going to pull up your social media, you're going to get your journals if you have them, you're going to get everything that you possibly can reference for last year when you do this. Because if you just do it off memory, it's still going to be powerful. But when you take it to this level and you have everything in front of you, basically you want to do it where you have either your phone or a computer or something, and just go to a place where you can be uninterrupted for a little bit of time. We're going to start this, so you're going to get the feel of the process. But to really be as powerful as it can be, you know, you need to have some quiet time and no drinking or news. Okay. For the exercise.
Just with the exercise, that's all. You're done.
Just a couple hours. Hey, then have a couple of beers afterwards, you know. You can celebrate. Yeah, you can celebrate. All right, so everyone have this year in review. Pull it out. And it just kind of says, you know, go to a place of solitude, or, you know, take an hour, whether it's a library or wherever you need to go. But if you can be uninterrupted, shut your email off, put your phone on airplane mode. Really truly try to be disengaged from outside distractions. Just do this. It's a lot more powerful when you do that. You know, when we first it was I think it was Todd Duncan that used to do something similar. He used to say go to the beach, or go to Narragansett and go sit on the sand, or go to your rock, or go find a place of solitude and just a quiet place, or some place that, you know, that has powerful meaning to you. Just go somewhere where you can be uninterrupted for a little bit of time. All right, so all I want you to do is we'll just go through a few of these questions, and I just want you to answer just one, but you'll do this on your own at another time. So the first, flip the page. So the first thing you're going to put, what was one of the 10 greatest things that happenings or things that happened to you last year? One of them. There's 10 that you have to list. It could be your number 1, it could be your number 10. Last year, what were that's down the bottom, what were 3 new things that you learned or did in the last year? So what did you learn? 3 new things. Learn or did? Just one, just to start it. A new relationship last year on the next page. So that's a new relationship you developed. The next question is an existing relationship that you deepened. Now for me, that's my son. I told you that story, and that was pretty awesome.
if you have no answer, then you have a problem.
You need more time at the beach.
Three of the greatest lessons that you learned last year. Now, if you were working on yourself, how did you improve your personality or character traits last year? Next one, did you follow your plans through to completion? So if you wrote your plan or your life plan or you had some goals, did you follow those through, or did you make a big commitment that you said you were going to complete last year and get through it? Next one, were you profitable with your time during the year? And if you weren't, what could have you done differently? Now, I know that some of these are going to take more than a sentence, so we can kind of just go through them. If I could go back and do it again, what would I have done differently last year? That's a pretty powerful one. 3 things. What would have you have done differently? So if you didn't hit your goals, what could have you done a little differently that would have put you on pace to break the goals? Next one, this could be a group exercise. Has my relationship with my associates in work been pleasant or unpleasant? It has been. If it has been unpleasant, has it been my fault? Has the fault been mine partly or wholly mine?
All your fault. Always Tracy's fault.
Hey, take 100% responsibility for everything that happens
I
to you.
am taking 100% responsibility. That is Tracy's fault.
It was 100% Tracy's fault.
100% Tracy's fault. It is a trick. It is always supposed to be your fault.
Right.
Books that you've read last year, or what you want to read. So that's kind of cool. Make sure you're reading good stuff. What was the most caring service that you completed last year? What did you do philanthropically? How did you give back? Who did you serve? Is there someone you need to contact and thank? That goes back to serving. Is there someone that you need to make amends to? Now this is all from from yesterday all the way through last year, so you can do that. Biggest risk that you've taken the biggest risk you've taken last year, if none, what held you back? Smartest decision you made in the last year. How many came to exit last year? Okay, Tracy's going to be reviewing this, so he wants to say that on the What inspired you last year? What's the next page? What inspired you last year? That could fall into your why. Was it your family, your kids, what motivated you? Was it competition? Was it new team? I mean, what inspired you? New role. Now this, I feel like this takes a long time to get the right word, but one word that sums up last year, that's hard. I'd had trouble with that. I'd have to get my list of one words and figure it out.
Why?
Your why? Why? Yeah. Okay, so you ever hear keep, start, stop? This is very good. So what do you need to keep doing in the next year? Okay. What do you need to start doing next year, meaning 2016? And what do you need to stop doing in 2016? So that's the keep, start, stop. We won't spend that. You got to really give that some thought, so I'll leave that one alone. But the keep, start, stop is pretty good. It usually yields some ahas and some things that you want to tweak. And then, you know, the gratitude stuff is the next page. The amazing people in your life are. The great things about your home and where you live. We won't spend any time on this, but it's just kind of, you know, you get the point. 3 great things about where I work and what I do for a living are, you know, Tracy wants to hear those. 3 great gifts of unique talent and skill I have been given are. 3 great gifts of knowledge and experience I have developed are. This is when you can pat yourself on the back. 3 ways I've experienced luck in my life are. You know, again, that's the creation process. You start expecting positive results, you're going to start creating that so-called luck. I don't really think there's luck involved. I think it's everything's created. You bring on so many opportunities that you appear lucky. Just some stuff on the the next page is the gratitude and journaling, just kind of how to go about it. We're not going to spend any time on this, but you ever hear of the Wheel of Life? So it's different components and facets of your life. So it's a life assessment, and this one is about your business. The first page is about your business. So we're going to rate yourself on 1 to 5, and then you're going to keep score, track the scores on all different facets of your life. So you got the business one, you got your relationship, thinking about money, your family and your family relationships, mind, body, and soul, your body, your spirit, yourself, and then so when you add those up, you get a score and just kind of look at them versus other areas of your life, and then it gives you an idea where you need to be. I mean, if you got a perfect score and say thinking about business, if you got a 50 on that, that means you scored a 5. You gave yourself a 5 on everything. So 50 is the highest you can give yourself. So you just kind of track the scores that way. All right, and then so we're going to jump a little bit here. Vision. So this is how you come up with your plan. So now you got your life assessment. We're not going to do that today, but this is towards the end. These pages weren't numbered. I feel like there's a temporary setback when I told the interns to number the page and they didn't, so they're going to be addressed. But anyway, so the business page, you can start with business, financial, and then this gives you some ideas on, so it's all about this year, right? So this is setting you up for your business and life plan for the year, okay? It's kind of easy and concise. This really isn't going to take you a lot of time. The starters, grow your business, build a team, recruiting, major projects, brand reputation, customer satisfaction, team development, new skills, improve performance, find a mentor someone else, remember, don't filter yourself. So what I'd like to accomplish this year in your business terms. So you probably want to start that with your SMART goals, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-oriented. Then financial, then your physical stuff, maybe we talked about meditating, working out, energy, reduce stress. Then mental, family, spiritual, lifestyle, relationships. So then you're going to turn these into your top 10 goals, okay? That's on the next page. After you get your top 10, you're gonna narrow them down to your top 3 banner goals for 2016. So you're gonna focus on your top 3 goals for 2016. And that's what you're going to look at every single day. But make sure when you do your year-end review, it's going to help you set your goals up for the year. So you want to complete that first. This will take an hour and a half, a couple hours. It'll take that first time to do it. And then, so now you get your banner goals, right? You finish your top 3 banner goals, guys. And then this is the last part of this. It's in your packet here. It is, so this is how you break your banner goals down. It's this one right here. So you're gonna put your goal number 1, whatever your banner goal number 1 is. If it's, close X amount of transactions or, earn X amount of dollars, you're gonna go through all this. And this is how you help create your why too. So you write your goal, you get through your destinations, your outline, and then who's impacted. The kid, your spouse and kids, your significant other, the company, the industry, the benefits. Did everybody see this? Did everyone follow along here? You everybody got that? Who do you need to involve? Like, who's going to be your mentors, coaches, experts, staff, assistants needed, research needed, resources needed, training, self-development needed, where you're going to acquire it, how you're going to acquire it, who you're going to seek out. So that's kind of how you get it. So there's a fresh blank one here that you're going to do. The first one was just an example, but you can reference that on the second page. And this is how you get your top 3 crystal clear banner goals pretty easily. So you start with your year in review, and you finish up with your strong life and business plan. And this is one of my favorite business and life plans to do. Questions? That's kind of that. Thank you. What do you guys think? So any epiphanies, ahas, anything along the way with some of those questions?
Share this stuff with your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other too. Just everybody's.
I shared my goals with my fiance the other day. She was like in tears, like, "Oh, half of it was about me," and I was like, "Yeah, it's kind of good, right?"
Yeah.
I didn't even mean to do it.
On a tropical beach. Check.
So,
It's a powerful connector.
So I told you how the gratitude journal I've been writing about the kids. Well, I've been with formerly my girlfriend, now my fiance, right, for 3 years. And when we first met, like, she was like my dream girl, so I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, and this was the one. Anyway, and so when I went to this Darren Hardy seminar, he talked about how he would write gratitude journals and stuff. So I wrote, when we started dating in January, February timeframe. In June, I went to this Darren Hardy thing, and I saw how he does. I thought that's pretty damn cool. So I started keeping a gratitude journal for Diane, and just little things. I write a sentence every couple of days, just something I appreciated about her, or also whatever. And then on Thanksgiving, because you're thankful, right? So I gave it to her, and she said that was the best gift she ever got. So I just little things takes no more than probably 60 seconds to a minute or 2 minutes to write, just something that you appreciate. And I've been giving it, so it's the third Thanksgiving I gave it to her. She said, "This is the best gift I ever got," and so now I get to keep it going. But I've just been afraid to give it to the kids. But it's a $7 little gratitude journal that I write in, and it's the best gift. So that saves a lot of money too, right? When you can do that. But so I mean, just stuff that's worked that I find is powerful. I haven't brought myself to give the one to the kids yet. I just don't know if they'll appreciate it, so maybe I will one of these days. But
I can share with everybody and you too for your kids that Kristen, my wife, actually made for us, which is she just took a big we have all these vases that we've collected over the years, and they're just in the basement. So she took one, cleaned it out, and then took a couple pieces of construction paper or a piece of paper that had like a floral background, and she cut it up into tiny little things and folded them in half, and you write just little things you're thankful for on it. You throw a bunch kind of into the vase, and you pick one every day, and you share it together.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And then you head out the door. So
that's awesome.
She's got all kinds of little
every
things.
day, huh?
Yeah.
That's great.
For anybody, if you get one that's kind of like just for you, like one's Mike wrestling with the dog. I love to wrestle with my dog because he's this big, and I treat him like this huge dog. I think that's hilarious. But it puts me in a good mood, so I laugh about it. And it's just a good,
That's
habit or action or discipline or something to get you in the right frame of mind before you go start your day.
That's great. Does anyone else do anything, that we talked about today or want to share? I mean, little tricks or little things that they do, or family or business, or just to get in the right mindset. And it's a constant learning process, it's evolving.
I like, oh, sorry.
Go ahead. I can share one more after.
Just quick. I like to reference the negative mindset as like head trash.
Yeah.
So you just gotta throw away the head trash. Like, get rid of the head trash. It's all trash.
Yeah. So, when you have that client, the doom and gloomer, it's, I've heard it referenced as the monkey. So you just take your friggin' monkey and leave, like that kind of thing. Like, you don't want anyone else's monkey, because the monkey's all over the place and just your head trash and, so however you gotta visualize it, like that dude's got a monkey over there. I don't like that monkey. Go ahead.
Little like index cards, you keep them on your affirmation cards, some people call
Yeah.
them, or just any of your written goals. I like to write them out as if you've already done that.
Yep.
And how that makes you feel. So, the gym one is an important one for us too,
Right.
because we like to feel good.
Right.
I've gone to the gym. It's in the past, 45 days, I've lost the 10 pounds I set out to lose,
Right.
plus an extra 2. I feel great about that. I can't wait to do more, share with others, stuff like that. So you're already kind of projecting where you're going. So
the future me.
Yeah, you kind of
Like a
back into
future
it.
me exercise. There's a lot of great stuff on the future me. So that's perfect. We didn't put that in there, but that's your visualization of your future me is so powerful because you've already created that person. Now that's why those opportunities are going to start coming.
Yeah, I thought of that on one of the slides, and I wanted to mention that because if you back into it, a lot of times it becomes more digestible for your
Yeah.
daily action plans. And what was I going to say? Lost my train of thought there for a second. Important. Wrestle with the dog. I can't wait to wrestle my dog.
Anyone else? Anyone else to do anything?
One of the biggest things I've learned, because I'm Italian, somebody pisses me off, I want to kill them. And I've learned that through Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, is that you're responsible for your actions. No matter, think about driving. Somebody cuts you right off.
Yeah.
Years ago, I'd be on the horn swearing at him out the window. Now it's like, I feel sorry for him. I don't care. I'm not going to let that asshole ruin my day. So
Right.
when I try to teach my wife that, she's not there yet. But the reality is, you're responsible for how you take every action. I had a closing 3 weeks ago with the brokerage down at Cape. They haven't paid me yet.
Ooh.
I could dwell and get upset about that every day. I don't. You can't ignore it, because if you ignore it, you'll never get paid. But you take 2 minutes, make a phone call, shoot an email, and the bad things should get your attention because you have to address those, but don't spend a lot of time on it. Do what you need to do, get it over with, and then go do something happy or productive.
Right. Right.
So I don't let the bad stuff beat me up anymore. My wife thinks I'm weird. You don't care about anything. No, I care about everything. I just don't let it beat me up.
Right.
If you do, it'll get you. It trickles. It goes and goes. And I'll catch myself. And I'll go, you gotta stop. You gotta shake it and stop, because it'll get me. There was a day last week. I don't even know what to do. Get shit together. I was creating more and more. You know what I mean? Throughout the day, I was like, I'm gonna shut the day off. But I was aware of it. I was like, you gotta shake
That's
it.
good. Awareness is half the battle.
Yeah, I was like, you gotta, and I was just, you don't even want to know how it ended, but I mean, I was aware, and I was like, you gotta, and I tried. I mean, your surroundings and your mindset, the universe is so powerful, you
Right.
know, and I was definitely doing it. I was like, you gotta shape this and let it go and start fresh, you know.
I was actually just reading something. It was James Allen, the As a Man Thinketh, and I put a little bit of stuff in here today when I was reading it, because I came across it. It says, I talk about when your day is going to hell, right? And you got to break it. And it's just snowballing, just more and more stuff. And he's in his book, he talks about this. He says, the breakthrough happens in the darkest hour. So it's when things are just finally. Now, most people quit. When it gets really bad, they quit and they forget about it, and they're off doing whatever. They might be with Mike, having a couple of drinks, right? So, which isn't a bad thing. Which isn't a bad thing sometimes.
I could be one of those 5 people.
Yeah. But if you stay with it, you can break through that and now still have a productive day, time, solution, when again, your darkest hours leads to the breakthrough. It's like that 3 feet from gold, acres of diamonds, and all those stories about, you find it when it just seems helpless and impossible, and you get through it, so.
I
Most-
sometimes focus on just winning the day.
Yeah,
One way or another, I'm gonna win the day. It's going bad, it's 4 o'clock, then I gotta do something between 4 and 6 to win the day.
right,
And if it's just not gonna get better at work, go to the gym.
right.
You know what I mean? Win the day one way or another.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be business. It can be
Exactly. That's
personal.
turn to something else. Maybe go have a date night or whatever, a spontaneous something or whatever. Maybe spend some time with whatever the case. However you can
You're
change
not
that.
gonna win every day, but if you focus on it, you're gonna win the majority of it.
You are. You're right. You're right. And that's why when we started talking, it's like I realized that the reason I wasn't hitting some of my goals in the past is because I let too many days get away from me, because I focused on putting out a fire, and it was so draining that I didn't do anything else productive, and I called it a day. But now it's like you still have to stay on task. You still have to follow that map of your action steps to get to where you need to be. Because how many days a year can you let go? Like you said, try to win every day. If you're winning 80 to 90% of them, you're ahead of the game. Because most people are only winning 50, and everyone else is checking out. So this was good. This was good. Good. I hope. No, I mean it was good. I like hearing from you guys, and I like that little trick. And the other thing, like you got all these apps and everything with the, you could create a collage or vision boards with your kids and stuff, and they all love that stuff. I sent them some stuff from last year that we did, and all the kids loved it. I didn't think they would. It's just stuff at the beach or wherever we did, and they're just kind of cool to do. You could probably do that on Facebook or whatever too. But all right, so if anyone has any questions or want to go through the exercise or they're creating the goals, I mean, I can help. I mean, I do it. I'd love to help if you guys want to reach out for anything. We can walk through it, or if you have a idea or something, we can go through it. So this is this next thing that we're gonna do. We're done with the business planning and life planning, but you guys go do this exercise soon, or you'll never do this. Get it done. You got try to get it done before February. So you got a few days. Just get this done, because it'll be your roadmap for the whole 2016. Look back on last year and then put your head down and finish it. So I want to talk, moving along here, I want to talk about this list reports. I introduced this to Tracy last week, and it's a pretty cool site. So if you have a listing or a listing presentation you're going to go on to get a listing, you can send us the information on the property, and we can create a report for you. And it's pretty cool. It's the way it's packaged. So it appeals to the new generation. In-class marketing with technology works. So just go through it. It can come in 3 ways, and you get leads and texting, and 5,000 realtors use it. So it's listing presentations, active listings, buyer listings. We can get this to you in a day. So if you're on a listing presentation, you have somebody that's interviewing 3 agents to list their house. We've been sending this to some agents to use, and it's been very powerful. A few of our loan officers around the country just say it's a game changer for them. So it just gives you information about the house that is pretty fun facts about the area that they're gonna look at or have. And people like to see this on paper about their own house if it's a listing presentation, for example. And they've done a lot of surveys and research on the 9 most common services that were mapped out. And after I go through this PowerPoint, I'll just show this one we did for Tracy so you guys can see it. We did one for him last year. It also rates the schools in the area where they're buying, which is very cool, especially if you're in a good neighborhood with a great school system. And if you're in a bad neighborhood with a bad school system, you leave this page out. Or you talk about the private schools, right, close by, okay? Neighborhood food, it's kind of cool stuff. What's around there? What's around at golf courses, fishing parks, the dog park where Mike can go wrestle his dogs right there, close by. All within 10 miles. Open house flyers. pretty colorful stuff, you know, it pops. And that's the detailed report. And it's a listing presentation. So you can go with all this, all these pages on your listing, and your sellers are going to love it. Because that's their house. You know, they want to see their house look nice, you know. You get a text code with the 800 number. It gives you information on the house. There's just listed, just sold as well. You get a website with the property. Works on all devices, except the flip phone probably. And then the text to lead short code. So when someone looks at your property, they're driving by it and they want information, you'll get a text on your phone that it captures the number, and you can give them a call and say, hey, I just saw you look at this property. Are you interested in seeing it? Be pre-approved. Call Bill Murphy. Flyers. But I want to go live with this. So I want to show you what we did for Tracy, so you get a real feel for it. Tracy, did you play around with that at all? No. Okay. All right. So let's go right here. Here's my list reports. All right. So some agents have been having us do open houses with them. All right. So this was Tracy's that we created. We created a profile for him. And then he'll have his own site, so he could see everything on here. So just on this one, so you can view it. You can share it on Facebook. This is very easy to do with social media. You can share it. You can email it. You can download it, print it in color. So there's a property website. And let's show all downloads. Oh, that's the wrong one, sorry. And the PowerPoint. So his was Buttercup. This is postcard, just listed. So that's the property if he'd wanted to do a just listing on it. And we co-market it if you wanted to do that. Just sold. Open house. And that's the market, promotional postcards. So these are postcards on the open house stuff. So we'll go back here. So I'll go press the start. All right, so about the home. So this is a listing that Tracy had. So about the home. So it kind of shows you the quick features. Gives a nice snapshot, colorful snapshot of the house. Obviously, the info on the property. So there's the schools. Grafton High School is a 7, but it's a brand new school. Just some of the places around the house where he's going to be, where he's listing. Great outdoors, right here. 20 golf courses within 10 miles, which is pretty interesting. 16 parks. So a lot of people don't even think of that. Like, I know this area, I had no idea that this was that many things going on over there. 206 places to eat over that way. So you see in the color, this is pretty cool, right? And then the photo gallery. So all the property pictures. Tracy, who took those pictures? You did? And you put those online, right? Okay. So it pulled it from MLS then, okay. All right. So get financing right here.
So what is the difference from like US and it's all automatic? You tell them, what do? They tell you they want their listing?
Yeah, so if you want to go on, say you want to have a listing presentation, just send us the address. We'll put it all together. It takes about 3 hours. We can get this all done, just like that one that he has right here. And it's gonna have all your information. We're gonna create a profile for you. We'll do all the work for you. We can do it. I mean, my intern would do all the work for you. Meet your lender. And then you get, let's see here, where's the, so we got the infographics, that's everything right here, so your listing presentation.
Yeah, like just listed or just sold postcard.
You want, yeah, I had those up too.
Just show them what those look like.
But you can just, you asked me for the address, you can just send it on, put it on Facebook and just, share it right away, and it gets all this cool stuff on there. Yeah. That's a flyer, just listed flyer. So you present that, and people aren't going to know half the stuff about their house. It's pretty cool.
Not many.
Did it really say 8?
Yeah.
Oh,
Within
okay.
10 miles.
The property website. That's the code. Oh, that's actually, we already went through that one. I'm sorry. Where's the? So there's your text. You have your text on it too. That'll be on the website. They call the number. They'll get that information. Did you call the number? You don't want to call the number?
Like right now?
You can call right now. See what it says.
Might as well. Test it out.
Someone call?
I think that's really cool.
Are you calling?
That's so easily shareable.
Yeah.
Pass that out to your database.
So, a couple of my good friends, one in Indiana and one in.
Thanks for the call. Configure your number's voice URL to change this message. Let us know if we can help you in any way during your development.
Text it or call it? Text it.
What I say? Text or call?
Someone said call, so that's.
I think the call works. I think the call works too, though. Hold on. Maybe you texted to him. Actually, where is it? Well, anyways, so I just rolled this out last week.
That's just great. We're learning together.
But these guys use it. They say they're agents that are going on these presentations. They're in hot markets. One's in Boston, one's in Indiana. They take it, and they are just getting listings because people think about your house when you don't know half the stuff. You're like, oh, that's pretty cool to know about the school. I didn't know there was that many restaurants around here, or I didn't know that these parks, or there was that many golf courses. So and it's just packaged nicely about their house. Think about it. It's about them, and you're giving them something about them. That's going to help separate you. They just say it's a game changer. So I can see that too. So you text it. You text it. You text that number. That's how you get the information.
She's texting her right now. Oh, well, we have a
But we've been, so where we've been using this in the last couple of weeks is the agents are loving it for their open houses. Either their Saturday, Sunday open houses, or their broker open houses, and they're asking us to put these together for them, and they're loving it. And then we've been sharing it on Facebook. Michelle Miller has one today. Heidi Jo Kemp's going there, and she put it on Facebook, and it came out really nice. We created one for her.
So all you need is an address.
Address.
You don't need a picture.
And I need we'll grab your profile, but we may need your help on the profile.
Yeah.
But just initially, send us the address. We'll pull as much as we can from the profile, and I'll have my intern call you and get all your stuff. So if you guys have any listings or have any potential listings coming up, send it to me. Give it a shot. I mean,
So it's just to kind of work into the partnership. There's no contract anything. It's like
It's
goal
free.
is to work. Okay.
It's
With
free.
them and the finance.
I mean, it's co-marketing. I mean, I'm gonna be on there. I'm gonna have a presence. But if you're okay with that, I mean, so we can.
That's more than fair.
Yeah, it's I think it's pretty cool just to share it on social media and all that stuff comes on. To have that on Facebook, you start sharing each other's listings and everything, within Exit, wherever, on your personal stuff. The more people see it, but there's more information that goes along with it, Did you text it?
I just need the other number.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
26578. I was trying to say this is Lisi, everybody.
Lisi.
Hi.
Alicia, nice to meet you.
Did you just join?
Yeah.
Just joining.
Official?
I don't know, not yet.
Hey, this could be the. So am I a 3-2-1 guy too?
It did work.
It did?
Yeah.
What'd it say?
Here's the property website for 42 Buttercup Lane, Grafton, and then it has a click here to view.
So click on it. So all this stuff should populate into that web.
It was just kind of like that website where you look at 5 pictures, you automatically have to register. Or does it, how does Tracy
That's
get
me
her
captured.
information?
It's captured by them just looking it up.
Okay, so that your phone number, so you won't get their name or anything.
So that's
Just
the
phone
exact-
number down.
Unless they fill it out.
So
They
how
can
we
fill it
get a
out.
text now with her?
You should. Did Adam set up your profile?
That intern's gonna have some explaining to do.
If he didn't, no, Tracy's gonna cooperate with his profile. So,
I gotta actually,
I may have gotten it though.
Yeah, I couldn't have picked a different street, now that song stuck in my head.
Buttercup?
Build me up, baby, don't let me down.
Then you have to do it to the right.
I know, right? Now we can.
I took that monkey right off my back.
Yeah.
So just show just hold up the phone, show the how the website. So that's pretty cool. So all that, it's mobile friendly. See how it populates? I don't know, a lot of the sites on is mobile friendly, right, Tracy? That's pretty good looking right there, how mobile friendly that is. No, it's like I said.
Colorful and easy to use.
So we don't actually pull the app into our possession or anything like that. We just share.
Okay, so all right, so you say everyone wants to get on with us. We have to get you your listing. We'll do that for you, but we want to create a profile. So now you have a dashboard. Now you can that's why it may not be showing up because you don't have your dashboard set up once it's turned on. You should be getting those. So your dashboard's set up for you. Now you can go in either on the web, go on your phone, whatever, and pull up the dashboard and say, hey, 5 people just looked at this property and sent some information they wanted to know about. So it's another way. Or they contacted me and
the dashboard.
we'll help you. We'll help you. We just need to get a little bit of extra information. We can at least give you a listing with a picture on it and just, okay, put it this way. Tracy didn't set up he didn't set up his complete profile yet, but it has all his information right there. And it looks pretty good. But we'll get more information so then he can look at his dashboard. So now you have the website for it. And if you whatever you need listings, just let us know. We'll get it to you hopefully that
Check
day.
and see if her information came through. She just plugged in. Or would that only go to the user?
It says Tracy Barber will be in touch shortly. So we'll send you my information.
Hold on here. Yep, I got it.
Oh, he's
so he's hijacked my profile.
No, it's in your email.
Oh, okay. Oh, is it in my email?
Yeah. It says 774-289-4641. Okay, Tracy, write that down because now you can recruit her, right? To make sure that I'll forward it to you. But yeah, so I got 2 emails actually. One with that saying that.
I didn't, so it must be because my profile.
Yeah, so it says because your profile is not hooked up. So it says text lead. So then it also says new realtor lead. So that's for you. Okay.
Do the sign writers get reused? Because I know the ones
That
with
was my
the
question.
e-listings, they get reused, so you don't have to keep buying riders for every single property.
We need to find out. I don't
Oh,
know
you mean
if
reassign that number to
Right.
each
Each
listing?
property,
I
yeah.
think it's individual.
So you're not buying 100 riders.
You just buy a dozen and then
I
just
need
change
to.
them over.
Adam was supposed to join us. He gets stuck at class, so he was on a webinar with them the other day. So again, forgive me for not knowing everything about
Find
it.
out, like, what they're doing with the mail, they said they were gonna be doing something with the postcards.
Yeah, he was on that mail. Like I said, he got stuck. He was gonna come present that stuff to you guys. So I got most of the information, but he's been working on it with them. They're coming probably in the next week or two out here. Maybe I'll have them. Maybe I'll have you come with us.
Okay.
They'll come to my office.
Okay.
So he's gonna come in. They're going to Boston tomorrow to roll this out. But it'll be pretty cool for you guys if you want. Just let us know. We can get that for you. Any questions? I have food for you guys. I'm gonna go
Very
grab it. I'm gonna grab some food.
Okay, cool.
We're
So we're done with food too?
Yeah, we're done.
Thank you.
Thank you, yeah.
All right.
Don't you have to leave?
Oh, this one.
Pretty soon, yeah.
We're actually,
How long is it?